Before I get into this review, I'd like to say I apologize, guys, for my couple weeks long absence. I was busy with school, homework, life, all that stuff. So I'd like to say I apologize. I really apologize for my horror movie review segment for October. Sorry I didn't get to do a lot of videos, which I did last year. Sorry I didn't do much for this year. I'm really apologize for that. I had to keep up with homework, schoolwork, all that stuff, like I said before, but I apologize, truthfully apologize for that. That's my bad. Actually, not even my bad, because I had to have a life to you now. Yeah. So anyways, glad I got that out the way. Let's get started with my review, continuing with my Tarantino reviews of probably my favorite Tarantino film of all time, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is my favorite Tarantino film, possibly his most famous film, of course, due to the character, the dialogue. This film, I don't know about you guys, but I actually kind of see this as a dark comedy in a way. All the humors. I know this film is not meant to be a comedy, but to me, it's kind of like a dark comedy. Because if you think about it, that when Vincent Vega shot Marvin in the face, when him and Jules was arguing, like, man, I shot Marvin in the face. Why the F you shot him in the face? I mean, that stuff like that makes this movie very great. Like I said, the dialogue and the chemistry between Vincent Vega, John Travolta, and Jules, played by Samuel Jackson, is great. They play well as the two hitmen. It's just very awesome. What makes this film so unique and so interesting is that it has a whole different stories, like 4 or 5 different stories, but at the end, not in the correct order, which just kind of makes it. First I saw it, I was confused at first. I'm like, what? How did John Travolta died here, but the next scene he's alive? While I watched it again, I'm like, oh, this film is in different orders. I get it now, because I saw this film while I was like 10 or 11. I didn't get it then. Man, I was just older, I'm 15 years old. I actually get this movie. I actually get that this movie is not in the correct order, and this film takes place in different stories, which is kind of really unique. I give it to you credit there, Tarantino. And Samuel Jackson nails it as Jules, quite possibly my favorite character in this entire film. And Uma Thurman is quite possibly the most iconic character in this entire film, Mia Wallace, because every woman who's seen Pulp Fiction cosplays her every year. I mean, it's insane. Even, I can show proof, I wish I could screenshot it. On Halloween, every female I've seen dressed up as Mia Wallace for Halloween. It's insane, especially when she'd OD, had the little blood, and had her bra was showing, and had a little red dot. They would even cosplay her in her OD mode. It's freaking insane how many women cosplay as her. Like, that's proof that she is the most influenced and most iconic and most recognized character in Pulp Fiction. And of course, since it's a Tarantino film, you gotta constantly say the N-word, a lot of profanities, old 70s, 60s, jazz, music, and of course, feet. You get to see Uma Thurman's sexy feet in this movie. Man, it's awesome. Back to the unordered stories. I like how in the first story, you see Jules and Vincent goes up to this guy who had the big kahuna burger, which I love that scene. I really love that scene. Favorite cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. And they shoot him, and that's when Jules kept asking him, what does Marcellus Wallace look like? Iconic line. Very iconic line. Then they transition on to Vincent taking Mia on a date, and then after that Mia OD, and he had to go to Eric Stoltz's place to resurrect her or whatever. That's when the next story, which is about Marcellus Wallace, beef with Bruce Willis, and lastly, like how Vincent accidentally shot Marvin in the face. And that was very smart of Tarantino, having the stories uneven in this film. That was a very smart move. And not only that, the cinematography is also great, especially when he zooms in on Uma Thurman's feet when we get introduced to her character. That was very good, because Tarantino do have a foot fetish, especially when you see Vincent Vega and Jules talking in the opening scene of the movie, Royale with cheese. That was very awesome. Then the cinematography, not only that, I like how they had old 70s jazz music, what I talked about earlier in this film. But yeah, Tarantino, his films, his technique are very creative and very smart, especially with the story of this film. But of course, he constantly says the N-words, which doesn't. It kind of offends me, but at the same time, it doesn't because it's only a movie. But if it was someone in real life, I'll be offended, especially a white person. So yeah. Of course, what more I gotta say about Pulp Fiction? It's freaking Pulp Fiction, my favorite Tarantino film of all time. And if you don't love Pulp Fiction, what is wrong with you? And why do you watch movies? Why do you watch movies? Speaking of that, Pulp Fiction came out in 94, and I think 94 was the year for movies because we have films like Dumb and Dumber and The Mask, Shawshank Redemption, focus on me right there, Forrest Gump, and of course, Pulp Fiction. So yeah, Pulp Fiction, my favorite Tarantino film of all time. If you don't love it, get off this earth, please. I mean, do yourself a favor, just watch it again. It's on Netflix, I believe. Go buy the Blu-ray, the DVD. If you don't have Blu-ray, buy the DVD. But yeah, Pulp Fiction, really great film. Great film. I'm not going on too much. Let me get to the grade of this film. I'm sorry, I went on too much. Pulp Fiction absolutely gets an A+. Thank you so much for watching my review of Pulp Fiction, guys. What do you think of the film? Of course, you love it, Pulp Fiction. Everybody loves Pulp Fiction. I'll be back tomorrow for my review of episode 3. Look out for that. But if you're new to my channel, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.